Well, it's already happened in parts of Minnesota, and even with the cold February and relatively good ice conditions, the deadline for removing ice houses on North Dakota waters is just around the corner. Here with all the details, game and fish biologist Doug Lear. I guess the question is, we've had these cold conditions. Why not just let them stay out on the ice?
Well, because we do live in the land of extremes, and as cold as it is right now, you look into Mick's crystal ball, and not too long from now, things can change so rapidly, and you're absolutely right. Right now, we've got some pretty good conditions for ice, and as you mentioned, Minnesota, some areas have already had their ice shack deadline. But in North Dakota, one of the things that we've always tried to remind anglers is that even with the good conditions, even though you have until March 15th to remove your permanent ice shack, things can change so rapidly. And even more, if you haven't been out to your ice shack in a while, a lot of things take place with the sun warming up the areas around the ice shack, making the ice a little bit there. Then sometimes they sink in a little bit and they freeze into the ice, making the removal a little bit more difficult. So there's a lot of different elements that come into play, but the main point that we want to remind people is just around the corner in North Dakota, you're going to have to get that ice shack off the ice, even if the ice conditions still remain good for ice fishing, Kyle.
Now, the good news, though, is so March 15th is the deadline. You can't leave it out there anymore. But you can still, if the ice conditions remain good, you can go out on a daily basis and fish?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You'll have to remove it if you're not using it. You can't leave it out there unattended overnight. But the ice fishing, the use of the ice shelter still remains totally, legal. You can do that. But again, there's just... The good thing is, when you look in the good thing is spring is just around the corner, so you can keep on ice fishing, but we do have our spear fishing season closing up on March 15th as well. So yeah, March is a transition time, and we just want to make sure that anglers don't get caught, behind the 8-ball, so to speak.
Sounds good. Doug Lear, North Dakota Game and Fish. More information about those dates always at the ND Game and Fish website. Doug, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.